Hey guys, it's Udbhav from Team 19343. This video is the final installment of my FTC Java programming course, at least for the foreseeable future. This course has been extremely fulfilling in all aspects of its creation, from the research to the scripting to the final edits. Not only have I been able to create and share a course including a majority of the tools and functions necessary for a strong teleop, I was also able to improve my own knowledge through research, thus helping me through my own journey for coding our bot this year. In this final portion, I'll introduce you all to the autonomous portion of FTC programming, multiple potential programs and presets for the same, as well as our autonomous strategy for this year's game Into the Deep. First, let's go over some of the common autonomous programs that teams use. The most common programs are Roadrunner from FTC Wires and Pedro Pathing from Team 10158, which a majority of the teams have used in previous year's game. While we can program the autonomous code without the use of any specific library or program, using simple component instructions, the code will become extremely long and will hold multiple sleep commands, making the code extremely hard to debug and arduous to create. So next, let's understand how these two main autonomous programs, Roadrunner and Pedro Pathing, function. Just as a disclaimer, I'm not as familiar with Pedro Pathing as I am with Roadrunner, but I do understand the logic by which it functions. As always, for further reading, head to the links given in the description for a more in-depth explanation of both, especially for Pedro Pathing, whose Team 10158 has a full-length video explaining the same. This section is just to introduce these two programs to you. So let's go ahead. These are the two websites for Pedro Pathing and for Roadrunner. Pedro Pathing is a new and upcoming autonomous program that has become very popular for its comparatively more accurate and smooth path tracking due to its uses of Bezier curve generation, allowing for accurate course corrections if any external forces are applied. However, it takes a relatively longer tuning process and is more complex than that of the traditional Roadrunner software, which is why rookie teams tend to shy away from it. Keeping that in mind, it can still be your starter autonomous program, but you just need to be sure that you can dedicate enough time to it. Otherwise, it'll come out bad. So next, let's talk about Roadrunner. Roadrunner is a highly popular autonomous program that a majority of the teams that I have seen use. Tuning in Roadrunner is less time-consuming than Pedro Pathing or with Pure Pursuit, but the accuracy of path following and drift are potential issues that you may face. Roadrunner follows a position-based path tracking in which an X and Y coordinate plane is drawn using the tuning information to move the bot, and radians to measure rotation of the bot. Roadrunner takes more trial and error when compared to other auto programs, but is the most familiar and beginner friendly due to the guide given in the code by FTC Wires. You just need to apply as an official team, and you will be able to get Roadrunner 1.14, especially for this year's game. So finally, let's talk about our autonomous strategy for this year's game Into the Deep. Make sure that you have read this year's game manual and know the different positions of the bots. So first, let's look to the playing field. Now, please excuse this terrible handwriting. I'm not really a writing guy. I'm more of a typing guy, as you can probably tell because I'm a programmer. So just bear with it. I'll explain everything as well as I can. So first, let's look at the playing field. So we can either start next to the basket or near the observation zone. So let's consider that we're on the basket side position. So this means that we are positioned near the yellow samples. These are all yellow samples, which give us two chances. We can either start with a specimen, hang it on the second run, and come back for the yellow samples out to the submersible, or start with the sample, directly keep it on the basket, and go for the yellow samples. So this will mainly depend on the speed of our rung cycle. So if we think that it's a bit quicker to just get a couple more points by keeping it on the rung, the specimen, then we'll just go directly go to the specimen. Otherwise, it's a yellow basket, and we just keep it up in the basket, and we can go get the other samples. Then we'll go with that one. So finally, we can either continue to place these yellow samples in the basket, or at the end of the auto, we can head to the observation zone, which can be decided based on our alliance. So let's say our alliance member wants us to continue going to the yellow sample, and the other ones are going to park in the observation zone. We can gladly do that. The main thing with auto is to be prepared to make changes as the competition goes on. All right, so now let's consider the position near the observation zone. So in this position, the human player will play a large role in scoring points. It is a must that we begin with the specimen and hang it on the second round, as it scores significantly more points than beginning with a sample. Our objective is to hang as many specimens on the rung, being close to the observation zone. So with the help of our human player and some sensors, we must bring each sample to the human player, detect the clipped specimen, and hang it on the rung. So basically, we must aim to complete as many cycles as possible, as each specimen on the second rung is worth so many points. So basically, we're going to want to train our human player to clip extremely fast, and we're going to want to use a sensor, as it's very tough for the human player to keep it on the same position at the same time. Or we can have the human player hang it on the side of the walls, in which case we can do some presets. However, I do recommend using sensors. As we wrap up this final installment of my Java programming course, I want to reflect on this journey. This project has been more than just a series of videos. It's been a learning experience that has challenged me in many ways. From researching and coding to improving my communication and teaching skills, every step was rewarding. So I just want to say thank you for your support. So stay tuned for more and feel free to reach out with any questions or ideas. Just keep in mind, I am also a student as much as I am a teacher. If I missed anything, please let me know. And if you guys want to see me covering any more topics, just reach out in the comments. This is Uzbur from Team 19343, signing off. Yippee!